10 years after the U.S. Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage nationwide in Obergefell versus Hodges, the justices may soon decide whether to take up a case explicitly challenging that precedent for the first time. Kim Davis, the former Rowan County, Kentucky, clerk who made national headlines in 2015 for refusing to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples on religious grounds, is appealing a $100,000 jury verdict for emotional damages, plus $260,000 in attorney's fees, owed to a gay couple she turned away. In a petition for writ of certiorari filed last month, Davis argues that the First Amendment's guarantee of free exercise of religion shields her from personal liability. More broadly, she contends that Obergefell was egregiously wrong and should be overturned. "The mistake must be corrected," wrote her attorney, Matthew Staver, calling Justice Anthony Kennedy's 2015 majority opinion legal fiction. Davis's petition marks the first formal request to reverse Obergefell since the decision was handed down, and she is one of the few people with standing to challenge it in court. Lower courts reject Davis's defense. A federal appeals court panel earlier this year ruled that Davis could not invoke the First Amendment as a defense because she was being held liable for state action, not personal conduct. As county clerk, she was the sole official authorized to issue marriage licenses under Kentucky law. Attorneys for David Ermold and David Moore, the couple who sued Davis, are confident the justices will deny review. Not a single judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals showed any interest in Davis's rehearing petition, Attorney William Powell told ABC News, and "We are confident the Supreme Court will likewise agree." Part of a larger push. Davis's appeal comes amid a renewed campaign by some conservative groups to roll back marriage rights for same-sex couples. According to Lambda Legal, at least 9 states this year have introduced legislation or passed resolutions urging the High Court to revisit Obergefell. In June, the Southern Baptist Convention, the largest Protestant denomination in the U.S., voted overwhelmingly to make overturning Obergefell a top priority. At the time of the 2015 decision, 35 states had laws or constitutional amendments banning same-sex marriage. Only 8 explicitly allowed it. Public opinion and political headwinds. Support for same-sex marriage remains high, 70% in Gallup's latest poll, but it has plateaued in recent years. Among Republicans, support has dropped from 55% in 2021 to 41% in 2025. Davis's legal team points to the Supreme Court's 2022 decision overturning Roe v. Wade, in which Justice Clarence Thomas wrote separately to urge reconsideration of Obergefell and other substantive due process cases. Still, legal experts say the odds of review are slim. It is hard to say where things will go, but this will be a long slog considering how popular same-sex marriage is now, said Josh Blackman, a conservative constitutional scholar. He predicts the court's conservative majority may prefer to let challenges work through lower courts before acting. ABC News legal analyst Sarah Isker is skeptical the justices will take the case in its current form. "There is no world in which the court takes the case as a straight gay marriage case," she said. "It would have to come up as a lower court holding that Obergefell binds judges to accept some other kind of non-traditional marital arrangement." What's at stake? Even if Obergefell were overturned in the future, existing marriages would remain valid under the 2022 Respect for Marriage Act, which requires all states and the federal government to recognize legal same-sex and interracial marriages performed anywhere in the U.S. There are currently an estimated 823,000 married same-sex couples nationwide, according to UCLA's Williams Institute, nearly 600,000 of whom wed after Obergefell. 1 in 5 is raising a child under 18. The court will privately consider Davis's petition this fall. If granted, oral arguments could be held next spring, with a decision by June 2026. The justices could also decline to hear the case, leaving the lower court's ruling intact and Obergefell untouched, at least for now.